What are you at, ladies and gentlemen, Lycos here, and in today's video we're going to be talking top 5 ways to make money in No Man's Sky. The purpose of this video is to teach new players how to go from completely broke to hundreds of millions of units, even billions of units, very quickly. This first one is a method that you can use very early on in the game. I wouldn't even worry about farming up units until you get to this point in the game, where you're learning the blueprints for your hyperfuel. You'll come across this building that has a bunch of little purple eggs surrounding it, and this is one of the best early opportunities to make 1 million or even a couple million units very quickly. It's very simple. All you're doing is harvesting these purple eggs. Be careful because there are going to be some monsters that'll jump out of the ground and attack you, so just be wary of that. My method is to grab one egg and then jump up to the top of the building. I don't get too greedy. I'll shoot down on the eggs from the top of the building, jump down, grab one, and then jump back up. Like I said, this is a very early method for you to easily make yourself a couple million units. Now, once we have 1 million or two, we can start making some real money. Our second method is a good one to use if you want to be out exploring. All you need to do is buy some cobalt with the money you got from the eggs, and you're going to buy up as much cobalt as you can. And this is very simple. All you're doing is you're out exploring, going from system to system, and as you're doing that, you're going to be selling the cobalt, and you're going to be crashing the system's economy for cobalt. After you crash the economy by selling a ton of cobalt to the galactic trade, you're going to be buying the cobalt back for a much cheaper price. Now, we're only going to be doing this once per system, and then you just repeat that in every system that you go to. Now, cobalt is sold in every system, so it's very easy to get, and you can just buy it on the space stations, and you're just going to buy up as much as you can off of the pilots that are flying into the space station. The next method I'm going to talk about is my favorite method. This is an extremely good method if you're going to stay in a system for a while. Let's say if you're building up your base, or if you're looking for a really good ship. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to find a trading post. We're going to build a base at the trading post, and using multiple medium refiners, we're going to be making chlorine out of chlorine and oxygen. So this is very simple. You can find chlorine in most systems. So you only need a little bit of chlorine, and then you're going to need a ton of oxygen. You're buying the oxygen up off of the pilots that are going to be flying into the space station, and you're going to buy up as much as you can. We're going to be selling the chlorine to other pilots because that way it won't crash the economy in the system that you're in. Do not sell it to the galactic trade because that will crash the economy. That's why we're making our base at the trading post, because that makes for a very convenient place that you can just pop down and sell your chlorine to the pilots that are flying into the trading post. This next method can be really good to pair with the Cobalt method. If you want to be out exploring lots of planets, you should pick up 3 S-Class mods for your scanner. That way, while you're exploring the different planets, you can be scanning as much plant life and animal life as you can find, and that'll get you a ton of units as well. If you're using this method and you're going to a lot of planets, for every system you go to, you can make at least a few million. Now, last up, we've got the easiest method of them all. Now, this method has definitely got a lot of RNG factor to it. Sometimes you might make hundreds of millions by doing this, and sometimes you might not make much of anything at all. Just by hanging out on the anomaly, sometimes people are really nice and they'll give you something that's worth a lot of units. So if you want to just put your character on the anomaly and hang out for a while you go for something to eat, you might come back and have something that's worth hundreds of millions of units. This is very hit or miss. I wouldn't recommend just sitting there and staring at your character as he's on the anomaly, but if you got something else to do and you want to keep your game going, you might come back and have a nice surprise. Alright guys, so that is 5 ways to make a ton of units in No Man's Sky. If this video helped you out any, feel free to hit that like button. Let me know down in the comments if you got any unit farming tips of your own. And as always, stay where you're at, and I'll come where you're to. Later everyone.